Hi guys, only me. So I was meant to do a video last night and I'm sorry I didn't. I have a very good excuse. We decided, my hubby and I, to have like a little date night, which was really cute. Yeah, we went to bed early and decided to watch a classic, The Matrix. It's been years since I watched that movie and actually understood the storyline better now than years ago. So yeah, it was really nice, just the two of us, to have snuggles in bed, um, with three cats and a dog, and yeah, and just kind of spend some quality time together. So I apologise for not coming on last night. Um, so my day has been good. I've just done some house tidying. Um, yeah, I'm just pretty much stayed indoors today, and then had my Slim and Well group at 3. So I got weighed, and I put on 1.5 pounds, and I'm okay with that because I've been expecting a gain. The two previous weigh-ins I maintained, and I wasn't sure how I'd done that because I haven't been eating like really well. So being that obviously I had a weekend out and stuff like that, I'm kind of glad I've put on weight because I was kind of like, why do I keep maintaining? What is going on? And you feel like you're cheating, which is daft, but you do. You see people trying really hard and they maintain, or like maybe put on something, or not lose what they think they're going to. And then I come along barely trying and I'm maintaining. So yeah, it was kind of good to see the scales going up, because then I'm like, right, I'm not getting away with this now. Come on. So I spoke to my consultant, and I have asked her for extra help. So yeah, there's her and another lady. They're gonna just kind of keep an eye on me. I'm going to, starting from tomorrow morning, um, complete a food diary, but actually be on plan. So I have been doing food diaries, but just writing down what I'm eating so I can kind of see. And what I've noticed is I'm having a lot of like treats, sins we call them, but the treat things, the extra things that aren't brilliant for you. That's kind of stacking up. And then my fruit and my veg and the good foods are getting lower. So it's kind of been good to see that. So now I know going into it, right, I know what I've got to change. And as one of the ladies in group, lovely Sarah, said to me, so your sins are stacking and your speed food is slacking. So yes, that's kind of my plan going forward, is get the speed food, which is your fruit and your vegetables, that the good things for you that are going to help your metabolism, burn down the food, not going to be filled with sugars and calories and stuff like that we all need in our diet. So yeah, so that's my plan going forward. And everybody seemed really supportive, which was lovely. I'm feeling I'm feeling better, as each day is going by. I'm feeling like I'm getting a little bit of myself back, and I truly believe it's because I've reached out to people and help is being put in place. So I've got the people from Beats, the eating disorder charity, which are now helping me with that. I also got a telephone call yesterday from Health in Mind, so I've got an appointment to go and see them, and on the 3rd of December. So that would be good to speak to somebody about that. Even though I do have a therapist, it's good to kind of see what other things are out there. And then I've also got an appointment to go and see my doctor. And the reason I'm going to see my doctor is because I am going to ask him to look to be put on antidepressants. Now, antidepressants are, for me, have always been a really hard subject. I know I struggle with depression and anxiety, but I've always seen being on antidepressants as a weakness. And I do take 2 types already, but they're not for depression, they're for my back. So they've got different qualities to them. So yeah, I've kind of bit the bullet and said, right, I've got to stop messing around with this, because I did have to take them about 2.5 years ago, and as soon as I kind of got my head above water, I came straight back off of them again, and I did that year about 10 years ago as well. I think I need to be on them and accept that there is nothing wrong with being on them. And my niece said this to me at the weekend. She was very brave and opened up to me and talked to me about her own struggles, and said, you've got to stop doing that, auntie. There is nothing wrong with being on antidepressants. They're gonna help you, and I have to take her advice, because she's right. I have to kind of realise that I do need that little bit of extra help to keep me afloat, because when things really hit hard, I do kind of sink quite quickly. So it's making sure that I've got all of this support network and extra bits and pieces set up, so that I can rely on them, well, not the pills, but on all of the all the help that I need. So yeah, I think as well this week has been mental health awareness, and I think I've seen a few posts on Facebook about taking tablets isn't bad for depression. If you need them, you need them, and don't be ashamed by it. So yeah, I'm kind of getting more focused on that now, which I think is going to be a good thing. So yesterday I kind of mentioned about PIP, personal independent payment, and basically what's been happening with that is in August I went for, well, not August, beg your pardon, or was it August? Oh, it was somewhere around then. It was a few months ago anyway. I went for a reassessment, and basically I played down my illness because we were going through the adoption. So I think it was before August, just a little before August. And the reason I did that is because I didn't want to come across as disabled or anything. I wanted the social workers to see me fit enough to be a mum, and I am fit enough to be a mum, but having a child from the system is different, and they felt that the health concerns that I have would be a negative thing for a child, to be in my home, which I don't agree with. My husband doesn't agree with. Our friends and family don't agree with it either. And I was a child in foster care. I know what a child in care needs more than most, and the love and support that we would offer that child is much better than what they're currently going through at the moment. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. So yeah, we got turned down for the adoption, and my benefits then got stopped because I made out that I was more able than I truly was, which was my own fault. I took the risk, and I thought to myself, in a couple of years when the family's, when we've got a child and we all settled down, I can relook at it then. It wouldn't be seen as a negative then, but it didn't work out that way. So I then spoke to the people at the PIP centre and said to them what happened, explained it, and the gentleman I spoke to was very, very nice and understanding. It's better than lying, saying you need it when you don't. I was saying that I didn't need it, stopping them from giving me money. They were probably quite happy by that. So he explained to me what I needed to do, send a letter, some evidence, all that kind of stuff, and I did all of that, and they still declined me for payment, even though I've been on it for ages, and they've been paying me, or they decided that actually no, we don't believe you. So I get that, I do get it. But they also said that there were issues, I'd written in there about things like my depression and anxiety, and they said to me, well, you've never claimed those before, so we couldn't take those into consideration. So this weekend as well, I kind of sat back and thought, right, I've only ever seen the claim as like my fibromyalgia and the sacroiliitis, which is like physical effects on me. I've never taken into consideration all the other things. Now, to give you an idea, this is the list. I wrote down all the conditions I've got on a piece of paper, so that when I was drafting out all the things I needed, I could look at each topic and think, right, how do these conditions affect, dressing and undressing, washing and bathing, all those kind of things. No, not all of them affect every category. Some do, some don't. Some don't play into it massively. But the list was endometriosis, polycystic ovary syndrome, fibromyalgia, sacroiliitis, hypothyroidism, IBS, depression, anxiety, binge eating disorder, perianal abscess. I think that's it. Oh, and hypermobility. 11. Yes, 11. 11 things, and only 2 of those I'd ever really taken into consideration when asking for help. So I've got this new claim form coming, and I'm going to take all of it into consideration. Like I said, some of it probably won't play into it, or not really a lot. But my mental health, I've never really thought, can I get help for that? And I know that they've always been a bit funny with mental health. It's only recently that they've actually started seeing it more as a disability, not just physical. So yeah, I'm optimistic now, and I'll see what happens with that. But I do strongly suggest to anybody that is unsure with these things is, the only thing you can do is call them and ask them, but also don't hide what you've got. I've made things for myself so much more difficult by doing this, because it's not just a case of it's not the case I don't want to. It's the shame and the guilt and what people must think of me, how I think about myself, and they're the kind of reasons that have stopped me from doing, for getting what I need to live my life. I've stopped myself from being open and honest about them. So yeah, I'm kind of glad I'm getting the courage and strength to kind of say, no, I need to stand up for myself now. If I don't stand up for myself and put out there what I need, how can I expect anybody else to do it for me? So yeah, I'll keep you updated with that one, because as I say, it's going to be a few weeks until that all gets kind of looked into, and I'll probably have to go for another assessment, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'll keep you all updated and see how it all goes, and fingers crossed. It's a positive outcome. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment, and still just kind of plodding along each day. But yeah, definitely feeling better in myself, finding myself and healing at the same time, and starting to enjoy life again, little bits and pieces. But yeah, it's still a struggle. Every day is a struggle, and I think as well, if you understand that if you've got mental health issues, and that you could wake up in the morning and feel absolutely amazing, on top of the world, and a couple of hours could go past, and all of a sudden you're in this deep depression, and you just crawl back into bed, and you just, no, that's it, day's done. And there could be no rhyme or reason for it. It could just be the smallest of things. It could be no reason. It could just be the way that your brain decides to go. It's so hard to explain it unless you're actually physically feeling it. And my depression and anxiety isn't anywhere near as bad as other people's. You know, I have people that I love dearly and are extremely close to me that have opened up and explained to me what's going on in their lives. And you know, someone did it the weekend, and all I was just looking at them, listening, taking in what they were saying, and inside my own head going, do not cry, do not cry, do not cry. They don't need that. I just wanted to wrap them in my arms and never let them go, because it was heartbreaking listening to what they were saying to me. And I thought to myself, I could never imagine having to go through that. My own depression is bad enough as it is, let alone having what they're going through. So yeah, it made me realise that life isn't as bad as it feels sometimes, but that also is a hard thing, because you don't want to diminish how you do feel, because that is just as important, how you feel inside, and the way that, you know, the world is going for you at the moment. That is important. Don't ever think it's not. And I have a habit of doing that, going, oh well, you know, people have got it worse than me, life could be worse. Yes, that is the case, it could be. But at that very moment, what you're going through is important, and you need to acknowledge that and deal with it, not just push it aside. And I have a very bad habit of doing that, and I know going forward I have to stop doing that. And yeah, self-care, looking after myself, that has got to come first. Otherwise, all these great intentions I have, losing weight and getting healthy and kind of sorting out my mental health, it's all going to go out the window. Because if I don't love myself and take time to care for myself, nobody else is going to do it for me, or have the opportunity, even if they wanted to, because I'm never going to be open to allow it. So yeah, that's part of my little bit of advice to everybody tonight is, you know, just think about all the things you do in life and think, right, what do I do for myself? A bit of self-love and self-care. It could be having a hot bath with some candles and just chilling out for a little bit. It could be going for walks and just having some time to yourself, or taking yourself off to do something that you enjoy. You know, I love going to the cattery. That always makes me feel so much better about the world, is having those little animals that are desperate for love and care just purr and meow at me and just be like, you're the best person in the world. You know, I don't do it for anybody else other than myself and them, and they don't take me for granted, because, you know, they're animals and they are just grateful for what I, you know, for the time I give them, and it is very rewarding. So yeah, I advise everybody, just find a little something that makes you happy and do it. You know, keep your mind strong and keep your spirits high. So yeah, that's kind of my little nugget for the day. So yeah, I'm now gonna chill out. I am in bed. Medication time soon, which always makes me nice and drowsy. And I'm gonna sit the TV on. I'm probably gonna watch Supernatural, because I do love me some Dean and Sam Winchester. If you haven't watched it, I strongly recommend watching it. There are 14 seasons available. We're waiting for the last and final 15th season to come out. It is worth the watch. Just for the hunky men, if anything else. So, yeah. I hope everybody else is doing well. Drop me a comment if you need to. I'm always here. And yeah, I will see you again soon. Thank you for watching my 10th video. Bye.